none of the Luca have actually out and out said, "Oh, do this or never leave the planet," and wonder what happens to the rest of your actual species for your short time of existence left here. They don't actually say that. Maybe they're not even thinking it. Maybe everybody gets a bus ticket home anyway.
What was the Luca's disposition and personality like before? Like,
That's
basically
the problem. I never had the chance to talk to them.
Well, but like from what we knew before, like, were the Luca,
remember?
like, were they, what's that?
Do you remember?
Well, I've got like some notes here, but yeah, they were pretty nebulous as far as, I could see, like they didn't have, like, were they intellectuals? Were they militants? Right. Were they this, or that?
Well, they were one of the most extensive and powerful empires. And they also, at least as far as this meeting was concerned, whenever some sort of hostility seemed to break out, they were the ones who produced the biggest and most secret weapons stashes, and were clearly armed and organized to an extent well past what was agreed upon for the conference. So
okay.
they are the to carry on from there, to add material that we haven't said outright. They are uncompromising and tough. And had a fair, we're considered, as with most of you, there was no way to defeat them without getting so annihilated that you couldn't call it victory.
Right.
So, but that's the case for most of you. Who knows what the freaking Mercap civilization is like, but, it's... Who knows what on earth their world-spanning empire, their multiple solar system influence and empire is like, but...
Yeah, theirs is probably the most insidious of all.
Likely, yeah.
How dare you?
Well, it's too late. And maybe that's true, Jerry, but it's too late for the Hive now, at least this part of it.
I know, true.
Yeah.
That's how they got us. It's like the Mercaps have not even been like... they're a race that collects other races by their psychotropic...
A single one.
Remember, the Thrall were prepared.
Yeah.
True. Okay, well, Hiver, as he listens to all this, he can kind of see the merit in it. Hiver can see, taking that away would help with the unifying force, because that's kind of like, Hiver society, because in Hiver society, there probably are drones that have no desire or will beyond their particular jobs or whatever. And in fact, Hiver himself may be like that as well. Like, this is it. There's no ambition beyond the Hive.
Are you describing this to Dukin?
Yeah. This is Hiver thinking out loud. Probably he's waxing and pontificating on this, and that if you take away the desire to do unnecessary mulches, swarms, or annihilations, the Hive can grow much larger. And thinking of this as a galactic hive made up of different alien species could be a good thing for the hive as a whole. Hiver's not sure.
Yeah. Dukin is just going to shake his head and be like, dude, it's not the way. You're never going to learn anything. Don't you want to learn? Isn't that why we're down here, away from others? We're learning. We're learning what's under here because we're questioning authority. We're not going to let them tell us what to do. We're going to make up our own minds. We're going to go on our own explorations. And we're going to grow together. And we're going to take this knowledge back. It's going to be great. Everybody's going to be happy. It's going to work out. But yeah, you got to get it out of this, everybody's the same, because we're never going to learn anything. We're just going to stay in this, rut, this circle. It's very boring. You don't want to be bored. You want to learn things. You want to get more knowledge, and knowledge is. You got to
We've
share that.
become Green Arrow and Green Lantern. Be the Green Lantern. I'll be,
Yeah.
However exists to help the hive.
Yeah,
to
and you exist
propagate,
when you're
to help
sharing
swarm.
information, right? That's how we exist. You share and exchange information. That's what we're doing. Get ready to share some information as soon as we find
I
it.
will look at Dukin, just like all of its eyes or whatever its face looks like, and just say, Hiver exists to swarm, and to mulch, and to swarm. That's what Hiver does.
Yeah, but I mean, so there's a time to swarm. Sure. Sometimes you have to swarm, but I'm saying you can't be swarming 100% of the time. You can't be on that the swarm switch. You gotta let that thing go sometimes. You gotta just like I said, just don't get too emotional about this, Ivor. Just let it go. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep exploring. Stop thinking about the hive so much.
That is what the Luca is saying. It's that perhaps their procedure will prevent us or stop us from thinking as much as you say, Dukin.
Yeah, I'm telling you, get my eye on the Luca. No, I don't trust them. They're up to no good because they're hiding things. And they're hiding things by making everybody subject to their will, because they don't want people to see what they're really doing. That's powerful. Can't let them have that power.
Ivor thinks that, as maybe a straight thought, that the Luca has gone down in this facility before all of us and has found something. And perhaps the Luca that we speak to now are a Luca altered by something they found down here.
That's an excellent thought. That could very well be. And maybe we should look for signs of that.
You will be in danger as you go down further. As you go down further, the little, the absolute space narrows per level.
Right.
And at this time, you have only encountered places that seem like a completely functional administrative energy municipal facility.
Right.
In other words, it's not too surprising.
Going through the office.
And so, right. I mean, you're this is, for ancient ruins, these are not really paying off.
Right.
And so, however, as you get down to areas deeper, you will find that and nobody's supposed to be down here. You're going past the point where the organized expeditions have been slowly going and tagging things and taking samples and doing little iPhone pictures of everything, and getting it, they're supposed to be all organized and it's shared as you go along. Well, you're below all that and you are not alone. You are swiftly aware that there is some group of individuals. You're about halfway down the cone at this point, the cone. And
right.
If I were to look at my little sheet of this thing, which is way too detailed.
Now, will we be moving faster as we go down because it is a cone and we'd be covering, won't be as.
Technically, yes, but remember, it's an enormous. I mean, the uppermost level is enormous, and so, they're less
right.
enormous. When you kind of reach the inflection point where you kind of realize that it's gotten small enough now that you kind of can wrap your brain around where you are in a particular area, because you've only barely touched on some of the areas you've been through. But when you get to that point where the narrowing is now sort of perceivable, that's the space where, and remember, there's lots of rooms and there's sort of, passages that you drive little trolleys down and stuff like that. And some of the areas are opened up into big spaces, and others are kind of honeycombed with rooms, and some of them are more industrial. Um, so it is here when you become aware that there are other individuals. They're not near you at the moment, but you can hear voices and hear movements and recognize that there are beings in this level. To your knowledge, you're the first ones down here.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's. Ivor suggests we move in stealth mode.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we can open up our senses and see if we can actually see with our ears a little bit more. See if we can hear what they're saying. Maybe clarify by just thinking.
Go ahead.
Get rid of some of these echoes. And so, yeah, you know, I'd like to try to make a roll to enhance perception.
At the moment, it's not a conflict, so don't worry about a roll. We're just using
Oh,
the trait.
cool. Okay.
We're just
Sure,
using
sure.
the trait, and so
Okay.
so the real issue is going to be just how sneaky you are, which will be a roll. And so the issue, because that's where the problem lies, basically. So as far as expanding your perception is concerned, that's not very difficult. To do so, I'm going to say, remember, you're a ways down. Your connection to the discussion up top is probably going to be hampered or inhibited a lot. So with what you will realize is that there is a group of the voir who, as you recall, were the individuals who actually had discovered this place in the first place, who
Right.
apparently have set up something of a little camp down here that they're not supposed to do. And they practice fairly rigorous paramilitary discipline, which is going to make it very difficult for you to learn much without getting shot. And they are particularly paranoid about exactly what the two of you are, which is, you know, being found out by the other groups, which is what you two are literally doing. So that becomes an issue. Before any dreadful things occur, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what you can pick up given the enhanced perception. They are complaining. The voir have a tendency to, you know, bicker among one another as sort of their ordinary communication, and so the problem here is that they're bickering about is that the technology that they've discovered, they've done an analysis now. I mean, they've been down here. They've been reading things with their instruments. They've been cannibalizing equipment. They've been trying to turn stuff on, all sorts of things. And apparently, the technology here is an older form of ionic transfer that is kind of basic, and I mean, all of your technology left that behind a while ago. It'd be like, you know, oh great, this place is steam powered, and they're kind of going, where's our ancient forbidden technological secrets? You know, what's going on here? And so there's the technical people. It's a small group, about 6 or 7. The technical people are insisting that that's all there is. Basically, you know, not even steampunk, equivalently speaking. It's not even cool. It's
right.
But I mean, it worked fine, but it was, you know, it was unremarkable from modern standards. And then, of course, the other people who have cast their entire lot with getting down here first and getting the secrets, man, that they're not happy about this concept and are kind of insisting that that can't possibly be true, that there must be, you know, more to this somehow. What about the secret code? What about the coded archives we discovered? It's like, oh, we cracked that, a while ago. That was easy. It was all,
Right.
archaic technology, and we got into it in 20 seconds. And no, it's just records of, energy bills, utility bills. Who cares?
Right.
So the mundanity of it all, and the unimpressiveness of it, um, from a find the ancient secret weapon, find the ancient energy source
Right.
perspective, is deeply disappointing. And so that's what you're picking up from the dialogue.
Right. Yes. We've been exploring like a carpet store
Right.
or something.
Oh, look, a utility bay.
Yeah.
This is where they kept the forklifts. How,
Yeah. Exactly. Now, um, um, using our perceptions, my photo olfactory navigation,
yeah. Oh,
being
yeah.
able to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see if like the technicians are like telling the truth, like they're sincere, or are they like one of those things where it's like one of the scenarios is this is stuff that man was not meant to know. Let's just tell them it's not here and let's just get out of here. Or
Right.
is this like, no, seriously, we haven't found anything. Let's,
This is kind of what
let's
the
go.
other war are trying to find out themselves, right?
Right.
That's what they would like to know. That's for sure. So the to discern things with that level of sophistication, of course, brings risk.
Yes.
So the
Well, let's
question,
see.
and so that trait you mentioned, of course, would be absolutely perfect for our current purposes. Right. And you're welcome to start prepping for a role by picking your trait and stuff like that. I can tell you that it is a 2 dice from me situation. It's got bad and it's got good going on.
Right.
Okay. And then the question is whether Dukin wants to be involved in some aspect of this.
Is this the not to be seen aspect that we're talking about, or is this?
That's what I'm asking you, I guess. I mean, you could leave
Sure.
all of that
Yeah,
to Hyver, or you could be involved in that. You could be like reality warping, so you guys are half in and half out of reality. I mean, I'm just spitballing Dukin stuff.
Yeah. Or I have the trait navigator of the unseen. Dukin's use. Yeah, you like that, huh? It sounds mysterious, but it's because either through his his abilities, or just because he's used to walking around in the dark, so
Right.
he knows how to navigate.
I was going to say underground tunnels, right? I mean, you're probably more at home here than anybody.
Yeah.
So that's true too, because you had mentioned that.
So
before.
yeah, that's
So yeah, I mean that works pretty well. Let's hold off on the rolling and stuff because I want to catch up with some AVICs.
Okay.
Right. Now, so imagine this interior, this circular interior with different levels and different perchable spots for AVICs to be perched in. And that these screens, and we're going to go ahead and use all the imagination that modern cinema can provide. We've got, of course, glowing floaty screens scattered around almost randomly for everybody to be looking at. The Scrang who are with you, including their most eminent member, whose name is Kugo, they're somewhat miserably hunched in an area that isn't really built to stand on, and they've sort of done their best to make it habitable for them. And so but that makes it hard to see the screens, so they're kind of doing this to look at the screens and just jostling around to find the right place. And so there's a certain amount of inconvenience for them in all of this. However, they are Kugo in particular is just appalled. I mean, this is the least individualistic, the least achievement oriented, the least, they came with the idea that we're going to get a winning compromise, which means we win. And if you guys make enough sense, you get to win too. That's the Scrang approach. And Kogo will say as much. I mean, that just removes the whole purpose of this conference.